Trackmania is a popular arcade racing franchise developed by French developer Nadeo, where the objective is simple. You start a track, pass through all of the checkpoints, and get to the finish line as fast as possible. Along the way, players experience various obstacles in which they had to overcome. That is what made the game unique in its own way. In 2015, as an 11-year-old, I was first introduced to this franchise through the YouTuber Quabblecop, where he uploaded Trackmania 2 videos of him playing the game casually. This got me hooked up and wanting to try out the games myself, being a racing fan in general. 2008's Trackmania Nations Forever was my first ever Trackmania game. However, I vividly recall that not even a full hour into playing this game made me realize that I don't vibe well with it. From bugs to poor PC performance just made my experience not enjoyable. So I quit. Not long after, I saw a video on YouTube, a trailer of an upcoming Trackmania game releasing on console, Trackmania Turbo, releasing on March 22 the following year. This reignited the desire to play Trackmania again, and with a working Xbox One at that time, I can finally have a good experience playing the game. I bought the game upon release and I was immediately addicted to the game, committed to finish each track as the difficulty gets progressively more challenging the further I progress. That was until later into the year when I stopped playing the game altogether. Due to the insane challenges that the tracks have given, it became too much for a beginner player like myself to the point that it's starting to get into my head. Overwhelmed with negativity, I eventually stopped playing, with the furthest I progressed was unlocking the Red Canyon tracks. The desire for Trackmania in me has been depleted, as I left the game and the franchise behind to collect dust, while I was pursuing something else. Fast forward to November 2020, I was mindlessly scrolling on YouTube. That was until I came across this video. 14-year-old Trackmania record was finally broken by Virtual. Long story short, his story and influence has slowly reignited the desire to play Trackmania once again. Not long after, I got the chance to play the latest Trackmania 2020, which I enjoyed it, and at the same time, I slowly improved my skills once again after spending years away from this franchise. However, throughout my time playing, an old memory came back into my mind. Trackmania Turbo. I have yet to complete the entire campaign, but at that time, I don't have the desire to play the game yet. Fast forward again to September 2024, and back then, whenever I played Trackmania, I just couldn't get the thought of finishing Trackmania Turbo out of my head. That thought had grew so big to the point that I eventually gave in. I purchased the game on PC, and I played the game for the first time since I gave up 8 years ago. Since I was playing on my PC instead of my old Xbox One, I had to start the game all over again from the white tracks, the very beginning, but it didn't take me long until I had reached where I had left off years ago, and thanks to my improved skill and mentality, I had managed to complete the red tracks, something that my 12-year-old self was unable to accomplish. With that, I had one series left in order to complete the game, the black tracks, difficult to master. I did manage to complete most of the tracks in the Black Canyon series, but due to time constraints and other responsibilities, I had to put this project on hold. That was until April 7th the following year when I finally had the time to finish what I had started 9 years ago. This is my journey to finally complete Trackmania Turbo's campaign. Track 170. The final track in the Black Canyon series, and it has already posed a big challenge for me to overcome, being the very first track since I returned. The track started off with a long drop down onto a narrow road before entering a wall ride, which is immediately followed by a looping, where you need to jump onto a road with precise aim. From there, it was a long and fast road section where you need to utilize braking and drifting to make the turn at fast speeds without having to crash out. After that, you have to make a back-to-back quarter-pipe jumps, followed by another narrow road section before ending the track off with 2 narrow loopings, resulting in a gold medal time of 2.5 minutes. Throughout my experience, what made this challenging for me was not the fact that the track was designed to be challenging. That's honestly fair, and I can't complain for the rest of the campaign. What annoyed me the most, not just here, but what you will see throughout the video, were the cars and their style of driving and keeping them in control. But thankfully, I am driving the Canyon car, which has much better car control compared to some of the cars which I will soon drive. In this track, it was really challenging to aim the jump after the looping as the car was drifting throughout the looping due to the insufficient grip the car has when it defies gravity, making it difficult to control the car. The same thing can be said for the final two loopings. With narrow roads, it requires precise control of the car if I want to overcome it. Even the smallest contact with the wall will ruin your run. The loopings. I hate these loopings so much. They're narrow and they're really difficult to control because you are drifting throughout the entire looping, or maybe it's just my skill issue. The quarter pipes can also be challenging, but if you aim properly and jump at the correct angle and speed, it shouldn't be too difficult. What? How? Yep, an example of simple mistakes can have big consequences. That's Trackmania. I am steering right. How is the car not turning right? Yep, good. Now, the looping. I hate this looping so much. Yep. These were some unfortunate moments that costed me my run. I had so much sweat coming off my body and staining my clothes. But I continued playing until I finished the track, and after 41 minutes, I got this attempt. That was unfortunate. Almost hit the tree. My goodness, imagine if that happened. I was ahead 8 seconds, almost 9. Okay, I don't know how that happened, but I'm good. Second looping. Don't screw anything up. Oh, finally. Finally! That took over 40 minutes. With Black Canyon done, this unlocked the next environment, Black Valley, which I'm not looking forward to as this is my least favorite environment as I had so many negative memories that usually come from the Valley tracks, regardless of what series I was in. And the main reason behind this is how the car drives. And here I am, starting it all off at the first track of 171. Controlling this car is like controlling the rally car. from Trackmania 2020, and I forgot what's the other game. Trackmania United? I don't know. But I remember that the rally car is not from Trackmania 2020. It's not originated from Trackmania 2020. It originates from a game before. This car controls exactly like the rally car. Probably is because it is rally. I just steered a little bit and the car just somehow snaps to the direction that I'm steering towards. It is so hard to counter steer, oh my goodness. This car has very sensitive steering when being driven off-road, but drives normally on-road. The steering input drastically changes when switching from one surface to another, and similar to Canyon, the design of the off-road sections were usually filled with obstacles such as small rocks and bushes that can ruin your run, or slopes that can result in unwanted airtime. This was an example of the frustrations I have been experiencing, but I managed to beat the gold medal time in 15 minutes. Still just behind the gold medal, and I drove onto that. Alright, good. No. Okay. Yes! 172 was my next big challenge. It's a full off-road track starting off with a double jump where you quickly need to snap the car to the left to clear the second jump clean. It was then followed by a precise jump between the stone arcs. From there, it was just more jumps that also requires precise aim so that the car wouldn't hit any small rocks, branches, or even get a slowdown, which ruined the run. My runs were ruined multiple times due to crashing into those small debris or my car just doesn't want to land properly. So stay in the center through those arcs, followed by a U-turn here, and a jump beside this house, and... okay, I'm stuck. I'm trying. Okay, how did I not steer? Good aim, I think. Yep. Seriously. No. Okay, good. Somehow that worked. Lucky that time. Are you serious? A rock. Oh, the silver medal fumbled as well. But are you serious? A simple rock stopped me? Alright, I'm catching up to my PB now. Nope. That's not gonna work. Okay. Yep. Yeah, it's not even enough for silver medal. Let's go! Alright, my head is spinning a little bit. 173 was the first track that featured road, and honestly, this track is much easier and better to drive on as the car drives like a normal race car on the road. There are multiple times where I thought I was confident enough to at least beat the gold medal time, but due to skill issue, I didn't. Touched the wall there, but I'm still fine. Need to aim this ball. Okay, good. I missed the finish. I thought it was gonna be more onto the right side. Alright, I'm gaining time, A good drift finally in this turn. Alright, right side this time. Yep, easy. Easiest Black Valley track so far. Now, it's time for the multi-lap track of 175, which brought a new set of challenges to the experience. It being a multi-lap race, beating this track requires consistency throughout the run. Another big challenge is that it takes place at night, and an environment like Valley at its highest difficulty makes it way more challenging for me. One of which is being dependent on the car's headlights to see what is ahead of me, where the path leads, and determine any obstacles in the way. Some of which are just unfair, such as placing a barricade without any warning. Gain? Okay, how am I supposed to see it coming? Although 175 was not the longest I've spent on the track so far, finishing this would be a huge relief for me, as I do not like this track at all and desperately wanted to just beat it. So close. So close. Alright, 10 seconds ahead. Almost 11. Now please, just finish the map. Finish the track. Can't afford another fumble after this, especially when the gap is probably the largest in this track. Woo! Yeah! Alright. Finally, this track's been done. Tracks 176 to 179 took me almost an hour and a half to complete, but I just simply kept focused and kept going, which got me the gold medal on all of them. And now, I am on the last track in Black Valley. It being the last track in this category, it is understandable that it is going to be challenging. And challenging it was. This track starts off with a speed check where the car needs to be at a minimum speed of 296 to make the jump clean. Then when landing, the car needs to be snapped slightly to the left to make the next jump. Next obstacle is the long quarter pipe jump, which alone is already challenging, which is then followed by an off-road segment that involves precise aim and another speed check. Then an uphill with a jump onto a narrow road where we jump again onto a cliff for a U-turn, followed by a downhill and a massive jump where you need to avoid hitting the road above. Then another off-road section with uphills and jumps that needs precision, before a long road straight leading to the finish line. A track this challenging along with my dislike to this car and environment, yeah, I'm gonna have a frustrating time here. Okay, I don't really understand this game's physics, honestly. Stay center. I kept failing the second speed check most of the time as I didn't understand how to make it clean. And having to snap the car off-road is another thing I despise due to how it handles, which costed me some more attempts. I don't know how the car always managed to serious? Are you Time passed over the hour mark into playing this track, and I am still trying my hardest to beat the gold medal time. I honestly don't care if the run is clean or not. I just wanted to be ahead when crossing the finish line. After an hour and 11 minutes of trying, I finally got this run. The first speed check was not clean as I failed to land on the center of the entry to the second jump, but I still have barely enough speed to make that second jump. I slightly overjumped the quarter pipe, landing beyond the barricade, where I had to reverse back onto the track and catch up to the gold medal ghost. I also failed the second speed check, but I was still able to slow the car down in time to make the left turn and make the small jump. At this point, I was already neck and neck with the gold medal, and I will leave the rest for you to see. Breath of relief. Finally. Ooh, after like what? Over an hour? Black Valley has been completed, and with it I am now halfway through the Black campaign. Next is Black Lagoon, a new environment and a new car that requires a different style to drive. The car has insane handling when driving on road, making drifting not advisable. Other than that, whether that's grass, sand, or wood, the car drifts. And just like what I've said before, when switching from one surface to another, the steering inputs along with the driving technique needs to change the moment the car touches the surface. 181. The first track in this environment was not so difficult. 80% of the track is just grass, and the only challenges were having to jump and drive through the center of the towers, controlling the car, and not crashing into any obstacles like trees and rocks. And de-rusting my skills since it's been a while. But in only 15 minutes, I managed to get the job done. Alright, finally, let's go. Finish line. Going into 182, I honestly got really excited. This is because this is the first track that involves magnetic roads, which fully functions like a road surface. That's why it's called Roller Coaster Lagoon. And I messed up already. Feeling confident on this track, it only took me a little less than 2 minutes to complete this. Okay, I feel like the magnet section is really easy. That's my opinion. I can do this with ease. Oh, long jump. Finish. Easy. This is 185, the multi-lap track in Black Lagoon, and after experiencing 175 in Valley, I got a bit worried for a moment. That was until I realized it's another full magnetic track, where the biggest challenge was just aiming the water bounce and launch, and the rest of the track was really easy for me, only taking me 5 minutes.
What the? How? Well, doesn't matter, I'm so far ahead. I'm still 5 seconds ahead. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if it's a bug, but that doesn't matter, I'm still ahead. As long as I'm ahead, I'll still take it. Good aim, looks like. Alright, easy. Easy gold medal.
After finishing the first half of Black Lagoon in less than 40 minutes, I got really confident into approaching the second half of the series. That was until track 186. This track is 90% sand, and like I mentioned earlier, the car continuously drifts when driving on surface. With how the car steers, especially on road sand, which has these brown colored surface, it can be really challenging. When the car is fully gripped, the car will treat it like you're driving on road, and on tracks like this, it can cause your car to snap towards a certain direction, and therefore ruining the run. Other than that, having to ensure control of the car throughout the run was really difficult for me. But fortunately, I adapted to the track over time, increasing the chances of me finishing the track really soon. But I still need to be focused and not be distracted by anything if I want to beat it.
Still 4 seconds ahead? What? I thought the gold would have overtaken me by now. Oh, that's silver? Okay. Let's go.
Adapting to the driving style used to beat 186 has helped me beat 187, where it was mostly driving on wood, a similar surface to sand, taking me 11 minutes. 188 is another full magnetic track, just some unfortunate moments that costed me the run, but it only took me 6 minutes. Next is 189. Overall, it was not so challenging. I just need to have good aim when driving past the obstacles, and keep the car planted on the ground when driving through small elevation changes, which can result in unwanted airtime and hence losing control of the car.
Okay, that's why I was drifting. Airtime. Okay. Fun map, I must admit. I really like this track. And gold medal. Let's go. I crashed at that part, but I still managed to catch up.
Now, it is time for the final track in Black Lagoon. The track started off with a sand section. Started off with a left turn followed by a precise jump to the left. After a small jump, which also requires precise aim, you enter a road section where you drive flat out on freewheel before making another big jump into the magnetic section. After the magnet, it's another sand section all the way to the finish. As expected again, being the final map, it was understandable that the track was fairly challenging, including every possible element that made such a track. I adapted after some time spent here, but despite that, there are still some moments where I got as far as 7 seconds ahead, only to fumble later on.
7 seconds ahead. Starting to get used to this map. Oh. Okay, nope. Fail.
But despite such failures, I still kept playing, knowing that I can finally finish this track and this series really soon, as the only way to actually finish is to keep composure and try again when failing. And then, it soon came.
Massive slowdown here, but I think I'm still 6 seconds ahead. And that's it. Black Lagoon tracks finished.
Black Canyon, Valley, and Lagoon, all done. 3 down, 1 to go.
Everything is now done, except one more set of tracks, and that is the Black Stadium tracks. The tracks I feel really confident about it from my experience in Trackmania 2020. Let's get started.
Going into this, I was honestly really excited, and that is because it carries the main element of a Formula racing car racing under the lights of the stadium. In addition, with my experience in playing Trackmania 2020 in recent years, knowing the car and its mechanics when driving on various surfaces, I got really confident, as I got ready to finish the game, once and for all. But I have to remember, I am playing Trackmania Turbo, not Trackmania 2020. And although the elements are drastically similar, there are some significant differences to the overall gameplay, and I have to keep on the lookout. Starting off with 191, it introduced the foundation of challenges that I could experience playing the rest of the series. This track comprises of simple tech turns, jumps, and obstacles that need precise aim in order to overcome. Examples are the walls and barricades that narrows, where there's a sign telling you to stay in the center.
What kind of landing bug is that? A landing bug, please? Okay. Alright. Easy gold medal.
This is 192, which is similar to 191. The main differences were that you are driving at faster speed, and you have poles to evade instead. The challenges present on this track were harder than I anticipated, but as time further passed, I managed to adapt.
Or time consuming, but honestly I can handle this. Just that I need to dodge these poles, which are very common. I don't know how I managed to dodge that. I got lucky there. Alright. At least I know how it works. I just need to not hit that pole. I was only 6/10 behind, so... quite good, actually. Quite good. Alright, please don't hit the pole this time. Wait, not again. Alright, at least I still got gold. I'll take it.
My performance from 193 to 195 has shown how naturally good I am in these kind of environments, all built from experience playing Trackmania 2020. Completing these 3 tracks took me 11 minutes, and I felt confident once again for the final 5 tracks. That was until I got into 196, which once again tested my skill and patience for the next 18 minutes.
196. I see a quarter pipe.
When entering this track, I thought I was going to breeze through this easy, like the other tracks. But I got humbled quickly. This track comprised of 3 short quarter pipe jumps, a looping where you need to precisely avoid the walls right after, and technical turns which uniquely contains a mixture of road and dirt, and beware of poles when driving there. There is also this left turn after the looping where I just kept crashing into the wall, mainly due to the booster placed right before the corner. Another area that I find a struggle was the ending, where there is a small uphill jump, and if you don't get enough exit speed, you won't be able to reach the finish line.
Not fast enough for the finished. Seriously? How fast do I need to be?
As much as this track annoys me, I kept my composure and continued playing until I finally beat the gold medal.
Please be fast enough. You gotta be kidding me. Oh!
By 700.
Alright, 197, let's go. First try. First try. 198. Oh, okay. Immediately with a quarter pipe jump. Oh, okay, that's a long jump. Wicked. Okay, I keep missing that loop. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Oh, I can. Alright. Ramstein bug. Well, it actually took me a while, actually. Just because of the first half is not easy. Alright. 199, let's go. Second to last track. Oh, wow. 4 seconds ahead already. Wow. Take it. Nope. Yep, if it weren't for that respawn, I would have gone gold. If it weren't for that turtle, I would have gone gold. Oh well. I'm almost done anyways. This track is actually not that hard. The only challenging part is the loopings. The wall ride is kinda narrow, but you just need to go a bit slow, then you're good. Alright, this is where I fail. Again. Here we go. Oh. At least I beat my PB. How close was that? How close was that? 2 tenths. Okay, I somehow survived that. This is where I failed again. Alright, at least I didn't fumble. I still got a slowdown, but I didn't fumble. Alright, do not fumble this one. Alright, that's one. Let's go.
199 tracks done. 1 to go. Now, being the last track not only in the series, but the whole campaign, it would make sense for it to be the most difficult track in the entire campaign. So I expect a very, very big challenge here. But when I first looked at the track, it brought some memories. To track 25 in the fall 2021 campaign in Trackmania 2020. Although they are different in terms of overall design and gameplay, the track layout is identical.
Only difference is, this one's a little bit harder because of all these obstacles in the way, such as these holes in the center where you have to avoid the center. And yeah, obstacles like that. But overall, the layout is exactly the same as the one I played in Trackmania 2020.
The track starts off with a huge drop down into the downward arch, followed by a left turn on the grass before jumping onto the road, avoiding the hole in the center. Then you have to do a large quarter pipe jump, followed by another drop down onto another road avoiding the holes. Then you need to carry enough speed through the U-turn to make through all of the ring checkpoints and have good aim to avoid the next hole in the center. After that is a looping followed by a short road section where you need to avoid another 4 holes in the center, which is followed by a wall ride. Then you need to go full speed whilst avoiding the hole at the center of the road to make the next looping, which has 2 more holes waiting at the end. Then you make another U-turn to drop down to another road with a hole in the center, where it's now a dash to the finish line, avoiding the final hole just in front of the looping to the finish line. After realizing that I am playing on the layout that I was familiar with, I now expect it to be easier than I thought it would, due to my experience playing its replica. However, I was soon to be wrong, as I kept making mistakes that costed me the run, and there were times where I thought I got it, only to mess it all up later on.
Avoid the center. Oh, I can see why. Okay, I am not gonna make this jump. Yep. Okay, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, that is so BS. At least no scrub up the looping this time. Are you kidding me?
At this point, I was already tired and my energy both physically and mentally has been draining for a while now. Having to play for 8 hours was something I had never done in a very long time and never want to do again. But since I am already at the last track, I decided to continue and finish this once and for all. And that was when everything came together.
So close. Alright, at least I know what are the obstacles there. And done. Woo! Not the perfect run. Hey, it's still gold medal. Yes! Trackmania Turbo has been completed.
It was clearly not clean and not perfect as I had to do a respawn and crashed into the barricade a couple of times. But I still managed to get the gold medal and hence complete the whole campaign. The feeling of it was exhilarating, as I've managed to do what my 12-year-old self was unable to do back in 2016 when the game first released, and it felt great. But now that I've gotten gold on every single track, does that mean I have completed 100% of the entire campaign? Well, in Trackmania, not exactly. You see, the numbers in green meant that not only you have achieved the gold medal on the track, you have mastered it. That means in order for these things to happen, you need to beat a certain time in order to achieve mastery. and there is an extra medal for that, called Trackmaster. Although achieving the gold medal is the main objective in Trackmania, achieving mastery in all of the tracks allows a full completion of the entire game, and that is something that I considered doing since I returned to the game, but I had to take one step at a time and achieve the gold medals first. As a casual gamer, this is going to be a greater challenge for me, as getting Trackmaster medals on all of the tracks is something that skilled players can achieve, but I am not at that stage at the moment. Hopefully one day, I have the time and effort to achieve greater heights. Thanks for watching.